The award, known as the Dr. Ernest L. Boyer Outstanding Educator Award, is presented by NJASCD to an educator who has made a major contribution to the field of education and who has exemplified the vision, the leadership qualities, and the commitment to improvement of education that characterize the career of Dr. Boyer. The award bearing his name serves to recognize and honor Dr. Boyer's accomplishments, inspire the recipients to embrace the qualities and characteristics required to advance our profession, encourage other educators to aspire to make a difference in the education of youth to shape a better future. To be considered for the Dr. Ernest L. Boyer Outstanding Educator Award, nominees must meet the following criteria. They must be actively involved in the field of education in the state of New Jersey. They must have demonstrated the vision, the courage, the leadership, and commitment to improvement of the education system in New Jersey that has resulted in the active promotion and/or adoption of fundamental change or changes in statewide policies and/or practices in the field of education. They must be a person whose contributions and reputation are widely known and respected within New Jersey. They must be a person whose engaging and inspiring leadership motivates and impacts colleagues and community. The nominee is not required to be a member of NJASCD or ASCD, but his or her vision, goals, and contributions to the field of education must be supportive of the vision, mission, and goals of NJASCD and ASCD. NJASCD annually receives nominations supporting accomplished educators in leadership positions for this prestigious honor. At this time, I'd like to turn your attention to the video for the announcement of this year's Dr. Ernest L. Boyer Outstanding Educator Award recipient.
The 2023 NJASCD Dr. Ernest L. Boyer Outstanding Educator Award winner is Alicia DiLorenzo. Alicia DiLorenzo is an educational consultant who works with school districts across the state to help them address some of the challenges young students face today.
I think it's important to note, I don't come into schools and say, hey, I have a magic wand and I can solve all these problems. I think what's more important right now, more relevant right now, is to engage a community-centered approach where the wisdom of educators that are in the field right now doing the work, we tap into the solutions that they've already found. When I started doing this work of integrating education to address the challenges that young people were bringing so they can show up better academically, people would often ask, like, well, why do we need this? Why is this important? Now on the other side of the pandemic and where we are today, people are asking how do we integrate education in such a way that we give young people these tools and give them access to be able to show up in their full selves, right? And limit some of those challenges.
Alicia is focused on serving the needs of not just the whole child, but also the whole educator and all staff members and community members involved.
It's really through her empathy, her experiences, and her expertise that Alicia is able to be a role model and a mentor for students and educators alike.
So when we think about adverse childhood experiences, really, this has the impact of changing young people's brains and the architecture of how brains are developed. And so if we don't address that component, it's very hard to get to the learning part of it. When you think about trauma, when we think about adversity, these are really all just cumulative events of young people feeling like, hey, do I matter? Does my life matter? And when we address for mattering, actually, we start to solve and resolve some of the challenges of adversity that young people face.
She proves continuously to be a champion of many things, but specifically for mental and emotional health.
She's commitment and dedication to wellness and the emotional literacy of all members of the school and community stand as a shining example for all of us to prioritize, as she reminds us what matters.
So pre-pandemic, I would work in schools and people would say, hey, we went through tough things and we pulled ourselves up by our bootstraps and we got through it. And I said, just pause for a second and think about this. This is the first generation that doesn't know a day without school shootings. This is the first generation that doesn't know a day without social media and trying to live in two worlds, right? The real world and this digital world. This is the generation that doesn't know a day without terrorism. Throw in a pandemic on top of that now. And we see that children are facing more and more challenges that we've never faced in regard to isolation and loneliness. So it's a yes, these things have always existed, and it's an and, where they've been exasperated and some things are new, like the impact that technology has had negatively on young people's minds and mental health.
I have known Alicia for many years, and she has truly made a difference in helping to create a more humane nation and education system.
Alicia is an obvious recipient of this award, at least to me. She has influenced countless board members by connecting mental health to the policy they write and their conduct as board members at the board table.
To someone who has set the bar high for all of us and continues to motivate us to take a holistic approach to student success, I say again, congratulations, Alicia. You're an exceptional educator and inspiration to us all.
I think our schools are probably the most important institutions that exist right now to create foundations for young people to feel a sense of belonging, to combat the isolation that young people are feeling in their lives. And I think that, if we can do it a little bit differently, if we can leverage our relationships in such a way where young people feel like they can show up fully in the fullness of their identities and tap into the fullness of their capacities, then we have the potential to tap into the possibility of young people taking charge and leading our world in brand new ways. And I think that anything that we can do to show up for young people, to heal, to grow, to be confident in their contributions and what they offer the world is the best place that we can begin and create a better world.
To get to present Alicia DiLorenzo with this award, and I'd ask you to come to the stage at this time.